They were a little bit lower in the third quarter. 5 of 16 wasn't quite as sharp in that quarter. But it was really the turnovers that got the better of Southern Nazarene in that second half. We have Trent May coming over. We'll be right back with Coach May.
No, man. I do that at the privacy of my own home.
Back here on the postgame show with head coach Trent May. Trent, obviously a disappointing outing here this evening against Southeastern. Just kind of give me your initial thoughts on tonight's game.
Well, I thought I got to give them a lot of credit. They came out and executed a really good game plan, and you could just tell their energy and they believed in what they were doing. And they really did it for 40 minutes. There was really no chink in their armor as far as just the way they wanted to play. They got to play their way for the entire game, and we couldn't combat that in any form or fashion. You know, I thought we shot the ball. I didn't, you know, the stats were better than I thought. It didn't seem like we could get a basket for the longest time. I called every play in our whole system that we have, but there wasn't anything that just seemed to be working. But again, give them the credit for packing it in, and sometimes you got to be able to hit shots. And so that's the key to winning games, score more points than the other person. So, but we didn't do a good job defensively. We allowed a lot of easy things. We talked about, I mean, relentlessly about number 11 shooting the ball. That's all she's in the game for, and that's all she got to do tonight. So, when you start paying attention to the details and care about the details, you know, things will, you know, eventually happen a little bit better for you.
Right.
But if you're not attentive to exactly what's going on, when you have a player on the floor that can only do one thing and that is it, and you let her run wild, that's the margin. And then we just kind of snowballed from there in the second half, and we couldn't find any rhythm.
Right.
So zero rhythm, zero momentum. I mean, you can't have any momentum before you have rhythm. And so we had neither of the two, and that's how you get blown out on the road.
Talk a little bit. One bright spot that I think we saw tonight was Alexis Jones. She guarding one of Southeastern's best scorers in Katie Webb. She held Webb. I mean, Webb ended up finishing with 10 points, but she really seemed to frustrate Webb all throughout that game. Talk about Alexis's effort on that end against a really good scorer.
Well, we wanted to, you know, you kind of look at what are the strengths of the other team and what are their averages, and you want to kind of have a game within a game, and you want to really keep you want to keep other players, especially the good players. You want to keep them, you know, without them getting their averages, and really try to, you know, shut down the catalyst of their team. And but you know, we also said that we can't fall asleep on the other players because they're basketball players too, and they're going to be out there on the floor. And it's not a one-man show; it takes a team. And their players stepped up in a big way and covered for her tonight when she didn't have that, when she wasn't on from the scoring aspect. So, you know, again, the details, and, you know, and understand it takes 5 people to play defense. When you talk about Lex, that's awesome. I wish you were talking about our team.
Right.
And that's the key. That's the key to defense. And so tonight we were great defense by Lex and great job on Webb. But you need the other players to show up and play defense and be, you know, understanding of the game plan as well.
Okay, so we go from here. I mean, obviously, not a great showing here in Durant, but you're going to head to Weatherford. You're going to have another tough team on the road again. You know, we know it's a learning process all year. You know, what do you take from tonight as you go forward?
Well, and a lot of things that you want to enjoy the process over outcome right now. But you know, I'm not a fan of softness. Plain and simple. I'm not. I like to, you know, if you're going to compete, go all out, and, you know, you need hard-nosed players. You know, I mean, you look at their roster and look at the girls on the court, and they did a good job with the things they did. But that's the part, is they believed in their skill sets and they stuck to that. We're still trying to find skill sets for our players, and there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of things we can do. We showed it on Saturday at home. But you can't be victims on the road. You got to be the victor, and we're definitely trying to still learn that lesson and trying to figure out ways to improve road games. Not sure what it is. I'd love to say I had my finger on it, but I don't know. I didn't like the competitiveness tonight. I think we just thought we could show up and win the game just by putting on a uniform. It takes a lot more than that. It takes the person inside. It's not the uniform.
Absolutely. Southern Nazarene's going to go back in action Saturday in Weatherford against Southwestern Oklahoma State. We'll have that action for you at 1 o'clock. Coach, thanks again for your time.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
All right, and as we will wrap the broadcast up here, Southern Nazarene, as we said, falls on the road here in Durant.